Shalom! Thanks for joining me and welcome to your True Identity in Him channel. Today's reading will focus on Parashah 2, Noach. In this Parashah, we'll cover Genesis chapter 6, verse 9 through chapter 11, verse 32. We'll then read the corresponding Haftarah portion from the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 1 through chapter 55, verse 5. And we'll then conclude our reading in the Gospels from the book of Luke, chapter 17, verse 20 through 27. Okay, let's begin. Here is the history of Noach. In his generation, Noach was a man righteous and wholehearted. Noach walked with God. Noach fathered 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth was corrupt before God. The earth was filled with violence. God saw the earth, and yes, it was corrupt, for all living beings had corrupted their ways on the earth. God said to Noach, "The end of all living beings has come before me, for because of them the earth is filled with violence. I will destroy them along with the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. You are to make the ark with rooms and cover it with pitch, both outside and inside. Here's how you are to build it. The length of the ark is to be 450 feet, its width 75 feet, and its height 45 feet. You are to make an opening for daylight in the ark 18 inches below its roof. Put a door in its side and build it with lower, second, and third decks. Then I myself will bring the flood over the earth to destroy from under heaven every living thing that breathes. Everything on earth will be destroyed. But I will establish my covenant with you. You will come into the ark, you, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives with you. From everything living, from each kind of living being, you are to bring 2 into the ark, to keep them alive with you. They are to be male and female, of each kind of bird, each kind of livestock, and each kind of animal creeping on the ground. 2 are to come to you, so that they can be kept alive. Also, take from all the kinds of food that are eaten, and collect it for yourself. It is to be food for you and for them. This is what Noach did. He did all that God ordered him to do. Adonai said to Noach, "Come into the ark, you and all your household, for I have seen that you alone in this generation are righteous before me. Of every clean animal, you are to take 7 couples, and of the animals that are not clean, just 1 couple. Also of the birds in the air, take 7 couples, in order to preserve their species throughout the earth. For in 7 more days I will cause it to rain on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. I will wipe out every living thing that I have made from the face of the earth." Noach did all that Adonai ordered him to do. Noach was 600 years old when the water flooded the earth. Noach went into the ark with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives because of the flood waters, of clean animals, of animals that are not clean, of birds and everything that creeps on the ground. Couples, male and female, went into Noach in the ark, as God had ordered Noach. After 7 days, the water flooded the earth. And on the 17th day of the 2nd month of the 600th year of Noach's life, all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of the sky were opened. It rained on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. On that same day, Noach entered the ark with Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noach's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons accompanying them. they and every animal of every species, all the livestock of every species, every animal that creeps on the ground of every species, and every bird of every species, all sorts of winged creatures. They went in to Noach in the ark, couples from every kind of living thing that breathes. Those that entered went in, male and female, from every kind of living being, as God had ordered him. And Adonai shut him inside. The flood was 40 days on the earth. The water grew higher and floated the ark, so that it was lifted up off the earth. The water overflowed the earth and grew deeper until the ark floated on the surface of the water. The water overpowered the earth mightily. All the high mountains under the entire sky were covered. The water covered the mountains by more than 22.5 feet. All living beings that moved on the earth perished. Birds, livestock, other animals, insects, and every human being. Everything in whose nostrils was the breath of the Spirit of life, whatever was on dry land died. He wiped out every living thing on the surface of the ground, not only human beings, but livestock, creeping animals, and birds in the air. They were wiped out from the earth. Only Noach was left, along with those who were with him in the ark. The water held power over the earth for 150 days. God remembered Noach, every living thing, and all the livestock with him in the ark. So God caused a wind to pass over the earth, and the water began to go down. Also the fountains of the deep and the windows of the sky were stopped. The rain from the sky was restrained, and the water came back from completely covering the earth. It was after 150 days that the water went down. On the 17th day of the 7th month, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. The water kept going down until the 10th month, and on the first day of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains were seen. After 40 days, Noach opened the window of the ark which he had built, and he sent out a raven, which flew back and forth until the water had dried up from the earth. Then he sent out a dove to see if the water had gone down from the surface of the ground. But the dove found no place for her feet to rest, so she returned to him in the ark, because the water still covered the whole earth. He put out his hand, took her, and brought her in to him in the ark. He waited another 7 days, and again sent the dove out from the ark. The dove came into him in the evening, and there in her mouth was a freshly plucked olive leaf. So Noach knew that the water had cleared from the earth. He waited yet another 7 days and sent out the dove, and she didn't return to him any more. By the first day of the first month of the 601st year, the water had dried up from all the earth. So Noach removed the covering of the ark and looked, and yes, the surface of the ground was dry. It was on the 27th day of the 2nd month that the earth was dry. God said to Noach, "Go out from the ark, you, your wife, your sons, and your sons' wives with you, and bring out with you every living thing you have with you, birds, livestock, and every animal that creeps on the earth, so that they can swarm on the earth and be fruitful and multiply on the earth." So Noach went out with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives. Every animal, every creeping thing, and every bird, whatever moves on the earth according to their families, went out of the ark. Noach built an altar to Adonai. Then he took from every clean animal and every clean bird and he offered burnt offerings on the altar. Adonai smelled the sweet aroma, and Adonai said in his heart, I will never again curse the ground because of humankind, since the imaginings of a person's hearts are evil from his youth, nor will I ever again destroy all living things as I have done. So long as the earth exists, sowing time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, and the day and the night will not cease. God blessed Noach and his sons and said to them, Be fruitful, multiply, and fill the earth, and the fear and dread of you will be upon every wild animal, every bird in the air, every creature populating the ground, and all the fish in the sea. They have been handed over to you. Every moving thing that lives will be food for you. Just as I gave you green plants before, so now I give you everything. Only flesh with its life, which is its blood, you are not to eat. I will certainly demand an accounting for the blood of your lives. I will demand it from every animal and from every human being. I will demand from every human being an accounting for the life of his fellow human being. Whoever sheds human blood, by a human being with his own blood be shed. For God made human beings in his image, and you people, be fruitful, multiply, swarm on the earth and multiply on it. God spoke to Noach and his sons with him, and he said, As for me, I am herewith establishing my covenant with you, with your descendants after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the livestock, and every wild animal with you, all going out of the ark, every animal on earth. I will establish my covenant with you, then never again will all living beings be destroyed by the waters of a flood, and there will never again be a flood to destroy the earth. And God added, Here is the sign of the covenant I am making between myself and you, and every living creature with you, for all generations to come. I am putting my rainbow in the cloud. It will be there as a sign of the covenant between myself and the earth. Whenever I bring clouds over the earth, and the rainbow is seen in the cloud, I will remember my covenant, which is between myself and you, and every living creature of any kind. And the water will never again become a flood to destroy all living beings. The rainbow will be in the cloud, so that when I look at it, I will remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of any kind on the earth. God said to Noach, This is a sign of the covenant which I have established between myself and every living creature on the earth. The sons of Noach who went out from the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Ham is the father of Canaan. These three were the sons of Noach, and the whole earth was populated by them. Noach, a farmer, was the first to plant a vineyard. He drank so much of the wine that he got drunk and lay uncovered in his tent. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father shamefully exposed. He went out and told his two brothers. Shem and Japheth took a cloak. They put it over both their shoulders, and walking backward, went in and covered their naked father. Their faces were turned away, so they did not see their father lying there shamefully exposed. When Noach awoke from his wine, he knew what his youngest son had done to him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan. He will be a servant of servants to his brothers. And then he said, Blessed be Adonai, the God of Shem. Canaan will be their servant. May God enlarge Japheth. He will live in the tents of Shem, but Canaan will be their servant. After the flood, Noach lived 350 years. In all, Noach lived 950 years, and then he died. Here is the genealogy of the sons of Noach. Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Sons were born to them after the flood. The sons of Japheth were Gomer, Magog, Madai, Yavan, Tuval, Meshech, and Tiras. The sons of Gomer were Ashkenaz, Riphat, and Togarmah. The sons of Yavan were Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. From these the islands of the nations were divided into their lands, each according to its language, according to their families, in their nations. The sons of Ham were Cush, Mitzrayim, Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush were Seva, Havilah, Savta, Ramah, and Savka. The sons of Ramah were Sheva and Dedan. Cush fathered Nimrod, who was the first powerful ruler on earth. He was a mighty hunter before Adonai. This is why people say, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before Adonai. His kingdom began with Bavel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh in the land of Shinar. Asher went out from that land and built Nineveh, the city of Rehovot, Kelak, and Resen between Nineveh and Kelak. That one is a great city. Mitzrayim fathered the Ludim, the Anamim, the Lehavim, the Naftuchim, the Patzrusim, the Kasluhim, from whom came the Pilishtim, and the Kafturim. Canaan fathered Zidon, his firstborn, Het, the Ivusi, the Amori, the Girgashi, the Hivi, the Arki, the Sini, the Arvadi, the Zemari, and the Hamati. Afterwards, the families of the Kenaani were dispersed. The border of the Kenaani was from Zidon as you go toward Gerar, to Azah as you go towards Sodom, Amorah, Amdah, and Zevoyim to Lesha. These were the descendants of Ham, according to their families and languages, in their lands and in their nations. Children were also born to Shem, ancestor of all the descendants of Ever, an older brother of Japhet. The sons of Shem were Elam, Asher, Arpachshad, Lud, and Aram. The sons of Aram were Uz, Hul, Geter, and Mash. Arpachshad fathered Shelach, and Shelach fathered Ever. To Ever was born 2 sons. One was given the name Peleg, which means division, because during his lifetime the earth was divided. His brother's name was Yoktan. Yoktan fathered Almodad, Shelef, Hazar, Mavet, Yerach, Hadarom, Uzal, Dikla, Oval, Avimael, Sheva, Ophir, Havilah, and Yovav. All these were the sons of Yoktan. Their territory stretched from Meshah as you go toward Sephar to the mountain in the east. These were the descendants of Shem, according to their families and languages, in their lands and in their nations. These were the families of the sons of Noach, according to their generations in their nations. From these, the nations of the earth were divided up after the flood. The whole earth used the same language, the same words. It came about that as they traveled from the east, they found a plain in the land of Shinar and lived there. They said to one another, "Come, let's make bricks and bake them in the fire." So they had bricks for building stone and clay for mortar. And then they said, "Come, let's build ourselves a city with a tower that has its top reaching up into heaven, so that we can make a name for ourselves and not be scattered over all the earth. Adonai came down to see the city and the tower the people were building. Adonai said, "Look, the people are united. They all have a single language. And see what they're starting to do? At this rate, nothing they set out to accomplish will be impossible for them. Come, let's go down and confuse their language so that they won't understand each other's speech." So from there, Adonai scattered them all over the earth, and they stopped building the city. For this reason, it is called Bavel, confusion, because there Adonai confused the language of the whole earth, and from there Adonai scattered them all over the earth. Here is a genealogy of Shem. Shem was 100 years old when he fathered Parashah 2 years after the flood. After Parashah was born, Shem lived another 500 years and had sons and daughters. Parashah lived 35 years and fathered Shelach. After Shelach was born, Parashah lived another 403 years and had sons and daughters. Shelach lived 30 years and fathered Ever. After Ever was born, Shelach lived another 403 years and had sons and daughters. Ever lived 34 years and fathered Peleg. After Peleg was born, Ever lived another 430 years and had sons and daughters. Peleg lived 30 years and fathered Reu. After Reu was born, Peleg lived another 209 years and had sons and daughters. Reu lived 32 years and fathered Serug. After Serug was born, Reu lived another 207 years and had sons and daughters. Serug lived 30 years and fathered Nachor. After Nachor was born, Serug lived another 200 years and had sons and daughters. Nachor lived 29 years and fathered Terach. After Terach was born, Nachor lived another 119 years and had sons and daughters. Terach lived 70 years and fathered Avram, Nachor, and Haran. Here is the genealogy of Terach. Terach fathered Avram, Nachor, and Haran fathered Lot. Haran died before his father Terach in the land where he was born, in Ur of the Kasdim. Then Avram and Nachor took wives for themselves. The name of Avram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nachor's wife was Milcah, the daughter of Haran. He was the father of Milcah and Yiscah. Sarai was barren. She had no child. Terach took his son Avram, his son Haran's sons Lot, and Sarai, his daughter-in-law, his son Avram's wife, and they left Ur of the Kasdim to go to the land of Canaan. But when they came to Haran, they stayed there. Terach lived 205 years, and he died in Haran. And now we'll go ahead and read the Haftarah that corresponds to the book to Noach, which is found in Yeshayahu, Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 1, through chapter 55, verse 5. Sing, barren women, who has never had a child. Burst into song, shout for joy, you who have never been in labor. For the deserted wife will have more children than the woman who is living with her husband, says Adonai. Enlarge the space for your tent. Extend the curtains of your dwelling. Do not hold back. Lengthen your cords. Make your tent pegs firm. For you will spread out to the right and to the left. Your descendants will possess the nations and inhabit the desolated cities. Don't be afraid, for you won't be ashamed. Don't be discouraged, for you won't be disgraced. You will forget the shame of your youth, no longer remember the dishonor of being widowed. For your husband is your maker. Adonai Zavaot is his name. The Holy One of Israel is your Redeemer. He will be called the God of all the earth. For Adonai has called you back, like a wife abandoned and grief-stricken, A wife married in her youth cannot be rejected, says your God. Briefly I abandoned you, but with great compassion I am taking you back. I was angry for a moment and hid my face from you, but with everlasting grace I will have compassion on you, says Adonai, your Redeemer. For me, this is like Noach's flood. Just as I swore that no flood like Noach's would ever again cover the earth, so now I swear that never again will I be angry with you or rebuke you, for the mountains may leave and the hills be removed, but my grace will never leave you, and my covenant of peace will not be removed, says Adonai, who has compassion on you. Storm-ravaged city unconsoled, I will set your stones in the finest way. Lay your foundations with sapphires, make your windows shine with rubies, your gates with garnet, your walls with gemstones. All your children will be taught by Adonai. Your children will have great peace. In righteousness you will be established, far from oppression, with nothing to fear, far from ruin, for it will not come near you. Any alliance that forms against you will not be my doing. Whoever tries to form such an alliance will fall because of you. It is I who created the craftsman, who blows on the coals and forges weapons suited to their purpose. I also created the destroyer to work havoc. No weapon made will prevail against you. In court you will refute every accusation. The servants of Adonai inherit all this. The reward for their righteousness is from me, says Adonai. All you who are thirsty, come to the water. You without money, come, buy and eat. Yes, come, buy wine and milk. Without money, it's free. Why spend money for what isn't food, your wages for what doesn't satisfy? Listen carefully to me, and you will eat well. You will enjoy the fat of the land. Open your ears and come to me. Listen well, and you will live. I will make an everlasting covenant with you. The grace I assured David, I have given him as a witness to the peoples, a leader and a lawgiver for the peoples. You will summon a nation you do not know, and a nation that doesn't know you will run to you. For the sake of Adonai your God, the Holy One of Israel, who will glorify you. And now we'll conclude with the reading in the Gospels of the book of Luke, chapter 17, verse 20 to 27. The Parashim asked Yeshua when the kingdom of God would come. The kingdom of God, he answered, does not come with visible signs, nor will people be able to say, look, here it is, or over there, because you see the kingdom of God is among you. Then he said to his Talmidim, the time is coming when you will long to see even one of the days of the Son of Man, but you will not see it. People will say to you, look, right here, or see, over there. Don't run off. Don't follow them, because the Son of Man in his day will be like lightning that flashes and lights up from the sky from one horizon to the other. But first, he must endure horrible suffering and be rejected by this generation. Also, at the time of the Son of Man, it will be just as it was at the time of Noach. People ate and drank, and men and women married, right up until the day Noach entered the ark. Then the flood came and destroyed them all. Thank you for listening. This concludes our reading for today. I pray that we all continue to grow in knowledge of his words, and may our walk with our God grow closer. May the Lord bless you, and may he keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. And may the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav alecha v'chunecha. Yisa Adonai panav alecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Until next time, my friends, remember once again that man does not live by bread alone, but man lives by every word that comes from the mouth of the Lord. So stay connected to the Word and discover your true identity in Him. Shalom.